Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. At the 90-day, the last resort tell-all, one of the most talked about moments centered around Virginia native Brandon Gibbs and his wife, Julia Trubkina, originally from Russia, and the continuing challenges they faced with his parents, Ron and Betty Gibbs. Ron and Betty have been part of Brandon and Julia's journey since the very beginning, supporting their son as he brought Julia to the U.S. to start a life together. But it wasn't without complications. Julia's past as a go-go dancer and her discomfort with rural living stirred up tension within the Gibbs family. Brandon and Julia were first introduced on 90 Day Fiancé and 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, before joining 90 Day, the last resort, in hopes that couples counseling could help strengthen their relationship. As their journey continued, new stressors emerged, such as Julia's desire to bring her family to the U.S. and her hesitation around starting a family with Brandon. These challenges created friction, leading the couple to the last resort to work things out. They remained together in the end, but at the tell-all, Julia dropped a major revelation that left Brandon deeply unsettled. Brandon told host Sean Robinson that their time at the resort was ultimately positive for their relationship, as it helped them reconnect and recommit. However, he noted that after returning home, it felt like Julia had started focusing more on herself than on their partnership. Julia acknowledged this, saying, "I did, and I'm not regret this." Ron and Betty, who joined the tell-all remotely while on a cruise, appeared visibly unimpressed by the comment. When Sean brought up something Julia revealed during a hypnotherapy session at the resort, she appeared uneasy. During the session, Julia admitted to having kissed an ex while she was still in a relationship with Brandon. The tell-all then aired a clip from 90 Day, the last resort, between the sheets, in which Julia confessed to another instance. While working at a resort in Russia, she had been talking to someone else while still involved with Brandon. She didn't go into detail, but in the clip, she told castmate Sophie Sierra she'd explain more off-camera. Brandon was visibly shaken by the revelations. Sean directly asked Julia what had happened with the man at the resort, and she confirmed that they had kissed. When Jasmine Pineda asked for more details, Julia declined to elaborate. Sean then asked Brandon if this information was new to him, and he admitted that while he suspected it, this was the first time Julia had confirmed it. He mentioned they were already engaged by that time, and he'd already begun the process of bringing her to the U.S. Realizing the timing made it more difficult to process. Some of the women in the cast spoke up in support of Julia, especially after she shared that at the time, her relationship with Brandon felt uncertain. They had been fighting, and she believed they might have been over. But when Julia realized Brandon's parents were listening in, she grew visibly anxious. Sean turned the conversation to Ron and Betty, asking for their take on the revelations. Surprisingly, they responded with a level of grace. Historically, they've been tough on Julia, often causing friction in the relationship. Though disappointed, they expressed that they viewed it as a mistake and encouraged the couple to move forward. Ron and Betty explained that at the time, Julia seemed unsure about her future with Brandon, so they were willing to look past the incident and hoped Brandon could do the same. Both agreed it was best for the couple to move on and recommit to their relationship. As the emotional segment wrapped up, Brandon remained quiet, clearly overwhelmed. While Julia had remained faithful since arriving in the U.S., Brandon still felt he deserved an apology. Julia offered a hug, and the moment earned applause from the cast. It may not have been the fairy tale resolution, but it did feel like the beginning of a new chapter for Brandon and Julia. During a therapy session on the show, Julia admitted to reconnecting with an ex-boyfriend during a visit to Russia, leading to a kiss that had haunted her for years. This confession left Brandon feeling betrayed, prompting him to question the foundation of their marriage. The revelation also caught Ron and Betty off guard, as they were previously unaware of this incident. Historically, Julia's relationship with her in-laws had been strained, with feelings of exclusion and a lack of support. She often felt that Ron and Betty prioritized Brandon's perspective over hers, leading to feelings of isolation within the family dynamic. However, the vulnerability displayed during therapy sessions and Betty began to acknowledge Julia's feelings, expressing a desire to make her feel more included and valued within the family. Several indicators suggest that Julia has made significant strides in winning over her in-laws. The therapy sessions facilitated candid discussions, allowing both parties to express their feelings and misunderstandings. Ron and Betty's willingness to listen and validate Julia's experiences marked a departure from previous interactions. Despite past conflicts, all parties expressed a mutual interest in supporting Brandon and Julia's marriage, indicating a unified front moving forward. The journey of Brandon and Julia underscores the complexities of blending families and the challenges that arise from cultural and personal differences. Yet their story also highlights the potential for growth, understanding, and reconciliation when individuals are willing to confront uncomfortable truths and work collaboratively towards healing. As 90 Day, The Last Resort continues to unfold, viewers remain invested in the couple's evolution, hopeful that the bridges being built now will lead to a more harmonious family dynamic in the future. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.